You wake up tired, even though you seem to have slept all night. Your favorite things no longer bring you joy. And every day seems to become harder than the previous one. Many people think, it's just laziness, it will pass. But in fact, this may be a signal of a serious condition, depression. Ignoring it is as dangerous as heart disease or diabetes.
Depression is not just a bad mood, it is a disease in which the balance of chemical substances in the brain is disturbed: serotonin, dopamine, and noradrenaline. These substances are responsible for the feeling of joy, energy, and motivation. Imagine, the brain is a huge city. Neurons are the streets along which information moves. When neurotransmitters work correctly, everything is illuminated, movement is free. But with depression, some of the traffic lights stop working. Signals are delayed, and a person begins to feel fatigue, hopelessness, and emptiness. It is important to understand, depression is not a weakness of character and not a whim. It is a real condition that can affect everyone, and a teenager, and an adult, and an elderly person.
Today, depression is one of the most common mental health problems. The reasons are well known to each of us. Chronic stress. We live in a constant race mode: work, studies, deadlines. The body does not have time to rest, and the nervous system becomes depleted. Lack of sleep. The smartphone screen late into the night, a short sleep of 5 to 6 hours. But it is at night that the brain cleans excess information and restores balance. Without sleep, this system breaks down. Genetics and hormones. Sometimes depression is related to heredity or to changes in the body, for example, after childbirth or during a period of hormonal restructuring. Social factors. Loneliness, lack of support, conflicts in the family, or a feeling of being unneeded increase the risk. Illnesses. Chronic pain, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, all of these also affect mood. As a result, we get a situation: the world is moving faster than we can adapt. That is why depression today occupies one of the leading places among the causes of disability worldwide.
The main difficulty is that depression rarely looks the way we are used to seeing it in movies. It is not always a person who lies in the dark and cannot move. Sometimes depression wears a mask. On the outside, a smile, work calls, meetings. But on the inside, emptiness and a feeling that life is passing by. Signals that are worth paying attention to. Constant fatigue. Even after sleep or rest, there is no energy. The morning begins with the thought, I have already lost this day. Loss of interest. Favorite activities cease to bring joy. The guitar stands in the corner, books gather dust on the shelf, and the music that used to give energy now evokes no emotions. Changes in appetite. Some lose the desire to eat completely. Food seems tasteless. Others, on the contrary, seek comfort in sweets or quick snacks, trying to fill the inner emptiness. Sleep disturbances. The clock shows 3 in the morning, but thoughts do not let you fall asleep. Or conversely, a desire to sleep for days on end, just to not face reality. Feelings of guilt and hopelessness. Intrusive thoughts. No one needs me. Nothing will change. This feeling pulls you in like a swamp, and the longer it lasts, the harder it is to get out. It is important to remember, these signs do not always mean depression, but if they persist for more than 2 weeks, it is an alarming signal. In such moments, help is needed just as it is for any other illness. We are currently witnessing a revolution in how science treats mood disorders. It is no longer just about chemical imbalances. It is about the entire ecosystem of your body. Here are 5 breakthroughs published in top medical journals. Number 1. The psychobiotic revolution. Research in the Lancet Psychiatry has confirmed the existence of the gut-brain axis. We now know that specific bacteria in your gut produce 90% of your body's serotonin. Scientists are currently developing psychobiotics, probiotics designed specifically to lower cortisol and improve mental resilience. Number 2. Precision neuroimaging. According to Nature Neuroscience, doctors can now use functional MRI scans to see inflammation in the brain. This allows us to move away from guesswork and treat the physical inflammation that often causes low mood. Number 3. Digital phenotyping. Your smartphone is becoming a diagnostic tool. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that changes in your typing speed and sleep data can predict a mood dip days before you feel it, allowing for early intervention. Number 4. Ecotherapy and fractal fluency. It is not just fresh air. A study in Frontiers in Psychology found that looking at the fractal patterns found in nature reduces stress hormones by 40% within minutes. Number 5. Virtual reality exposure therapy. Virtual reality is now being used to create safe environments where the brain can practice confidence, literally rewiring neural pathways through neuroplasticity. Science is proving that recovery is not just possible, it is quantifiable. Depression is treatable, and this is the most important thing to remember. Yes, the path to recovery is not fast, but it exists. Turn to a specialist. A psychologist or a doctor helps to understand what exactly is happening and selects support. Sometimes it is talk therapy, sometimes it is medication. The main thing is not to be afraid to ask for help. Movement. Even if there is no energy for the gym, a simple walk around the block already changes a lot. When we move, the brain begins to produce happiness hormones. 10 minutes of walking can give more strength than it seems. Sleep and routine. Lack of sleep increases anxiety and fatigue. Try to go to bed at about the same time. 7 to 8 hours of sleep is like a reboot for the brain. The morning becomes easier if the night was calm. Support from loved ones. A conversation with a friend, a call to mom, or even a chat with a person you trust can remove the feeling of loneliness. Sometimes one "I understand you" changes the whole day. Small steps. Depression does not disappear with a single decision, but you can get out of it gradually. Do a simple thing: cook a meal, clean the room, Go out for fresh air. Every small step is a brick in the wall that protects from the darkness. The main thing is not to expect big victories right away. Even a tiny action is already a movement forward. Our nutrition is directly linked to how the brain works and what our mood is. There are foods that help maintain balance and reduce the risk of depression. Vegetables and greens. Broccoli, spinach, lettuce contain B group vitamins. They are necessary for the nervous system to function and help reduce stress levels. Fruits and berries. Oranges, kiwis, blueberries. Strawberries are rich in antioxidants and vitamin C. These substances support the immune system and help brain cells work more actively. Fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel contain omega-3 fatty acids. They improve brain function, support memory and mood. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax and chia seeds are a source of magnesium and healthy fats, which reduce anxiety and support concentration. Dark chocolate. In small amounts, it helps produce serotonin, the happiness hormone. The main thing is to choose chocolate with a high cocoa content. Water. Even mild dehydration worsens mood and makes us more tired. Therefore, a simple habit, drinking enough water, also works against depression. It is important to remember. Food is not a medicine, but it can become a reliable ally. Balance and variety on the plate help the brain cope with stress and maintain internal energy.
Our brain weighs only 1.5 kilograms, approximately like a small pineapple. But at the same time, it eats up about 20% of the body's total energy. That is, a fifth of what we eat and drink goes specifically to the brain's work. Even a simple smile, even if it is a bit forced, triggers special chemical reactions. Dopamine and endorphins, substances that improve mood, are released into the blood. Sometimes it's worth just smiling, and the day already seems a little easier. Just 10 minutes in the fresh air can reduce the level of the stress hormone, cortisol. It's like a small reboot for the nervous system. That's why a walk in the park or simply an open window is already a step towards calmness. Music affects the brain in the same way as joyful emotions. A favorite song can activate the same areas of the brain as the feeling of happiness. Therefore, turning on music is not just entertainment, but a way to support your mood. Movement helps the brain grow. When we engage in physical activity, new cells begin to appear in a special area of the brain, the hippocampus. And the hippocampus is responsible for memory and emotions. It turns out that sports not only strengthen the body but also help the brain become fresher and more resistant to stress. The brain is stronger than it seems. Take care of it.
Depression is not a sign of weakness and not laziness. It is a condition that anyone can face. But it is important to remember, there is always a way out of the darkness. While you were watching this video, your brain processed millions of signals to sustain life. It works for you day and night, without a break. And it is in your power to help it, to give it enough sleep, movement, nutrition, warm conversations, and self-care. Every small step matters. A smile. A walk. A conversation with a friend. All of this adds up to a path toward the light, even if it seems now that there is none. Remember, you are not alone. There is support, and there is strength inside you too. And now a question for you. What personally helps you cope with stress and difficult days? Share in the comments. Perhaps your experience will become a support for someone else. Don't forget to subscribe, because there are even more stories ahead about how our body works and how gentle self-care helps to stay strong.